start with our guest, Hjort. I don't know if she's online. Ciao, Julie. Welcome. I don't know if you could hear me, but I will try also to keep a little bit the timing. So yes. I leave you the space for your speech. I thank you very much for connecting. So the title of your speech is Distributed Design for a Circular Economy, and we are very curious about what is distributed. Please.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you so much for having me. It's really a pleasure. And I just want to say that I'm just going to jump a little here from our previous really fascinating speech and talk more about an emerging praxis and an approach within the design field that speaks into the circular economy. So I hope you're ready to jump on board on a completely new chapter of the circular economy. So I just want to shortly introduce myself. I come from the Danish Design Center in Denmark, and we apply design methodology and approaches to solve complex societal challenges. And one of these really big societal challenges we're dealing with is the circular economy. And we've actually set out a mission that we call Designing the Irresistible Circular Society. So we want to work to make the circular transition attractive, irresistible, and something that we all want to take part of. Just make it something that we really want to be a movement we want to join. And representing the design field, I think we need to take it quite seriously in the context of circular economy, because we know that that design is actually today quite a big part of the problem in the linear economy. That we know that 80% of a product's environmental impact is actually, decided and defined in the design phase. So designers who design and put products into the world bear a huge responsibility for this in the circular economy, but they also have a great power and actually to make a difference in the world. So I think it's very important to talk about how we rethink the way we design, the way we produce and consume products and materials. And that's why I want to introduce this new emerging practice within the design field called distributed design. So distributed design actually it's emerging. I'm going to dip into it. It's emerging between the maker movement and the digitization of the design field. So it's really about all this new technology, such as laser cutters and 3D printers, and the digitization of production that has made it easier, cheaper, and more available for many people to actually access this technology, as well, of course, for designers. So what we've seen in this conventional manufacturing process is that designers become more and more disconnected from designing a product and the actual final product. With the new technology, with the new tools and facilities that are becoming broadly available throughout the world, you can actually easily design and produce your own product locally. We see, and I'm sure you all met and heard about these maker spaces and fab labs that pop out over the world, where you can come in quite easily and access this new technology, actually combine, the art and craft of designing with actually producing and using digitization. And so the thing about distributed design is it allows for designers to design products, via drawings, CAD designs, and actually share them all over the world. We see that this movement of designers working with distributed design they work with open source, so they share their files and their data on how they produce, and they share knowledge with all designers around the world. So you can basically sit one place in the world, sit in Copenhagen, and I can design a chair or a desk, and I can actually just send it to Milan, where someone can produce it in their local fab lab. So there's a lot of potentials in this field. And it also allows for new collaborations between designers and consumers, because consumers have access to how their products are designed and produced, and they can actually also be part of producing and making their own products. So I want to talk about distributed design in terms of the circular economy, because that's what I'm here for. And I think that distributed design has like three potentials within the circular transition. It enables local production with local and recycled materials, product longevity, and it allows for products to be universally manufacturable. So that's something I'm just going to double click a little bit into. So for the first one, this about local productions, what I mentioned before, but it's because we have this new possibilities for designers to produce, and this is mostly in producing small batches themselves. It allows for local production. Production utilities and facilities are more accessible, can be cheaper and easier, so you can actually design and produce where you are, closer to the end user, and closer to the materials. So it enables designers to shorten the supply chain and use local materials in the production of new goods. And it also enables designers to use recycled materials to produce these new materials. It's very much based on small batch production, producing on demand, and only using the materials you actually need. Therefore, avoiding creating too much loss within in the production and design phase. Another aspect of it is the product longevity. So with these new manufacturing techniques, you can easily design spare parts to actually fix and repair your products. By sharing, locally how products are designed, you can easily understand and sort of open up your design and find out how can it be fixed. We find more and more designers, and Stykker is one of them, who makes repair and accessible and easy, so actually to keep your product in use. So that's also a really, really important aspect. And the last one is this idea of having something be universally manufacturable. And this very much comes down to the open sourceness behind design. So by sharing designs and showing how products are actually being made, you bring transparency to the design and manufacturing process. And this is really, groundbreaking. It's groundbreaking for designers who actually understand how materials and products are being used and applied in the manufacturing process. And it's also really groundbreaking for the consumer who understands what products, what designs are being used, and how it allows you to make, changes and alteration, and it creates a common language about how things are produced and designed. So it also allows for local disassembly and a way of understanding your product and refitting it to new purposes, which I think is quite important. So actually getting started with distributed design is something that we're trying to help facilitate, that a lot of designers do. It's really, really difficult because most designers are not used to working within this circular structure. They're used to working within a linear structure. So they haven't been asked to think about product life cycles, and they're not been asked to think about what clever things they could do to stop what's making these things go into landfills. So it's kind of a new approach. It's really about empowering the designer to actually take responsibility of production, and also empowering them to oversee the whole process from design to manufacturing. When I speak about this distributed design, I'm aware that I'm not speaking about mass production. I'm mostly talking into small batches of production, but I think it's really important because the way we've seen how manufacturing has been for designers in a long time, it has been a disconnected process where a designer hands in a design to an engineer who works on that and produces that. And as long as it's becoming to the manufacturing process, it gets really disconnected from the designer. So this take responsibility of the materials you use, understanding them, and sharing that with the consumer is also very interesting. I think it's also a challenge for some designers who maybe think that they, in an old traditional design approach, is, the designer is the artist who builds this product, that it's like it's their secrets. They have the copyrights to this very unique product, and the designer definitely has another role here, because you're basically setting your design free. You're being so generous that you're sharing your design with consumers, with other designers, so they can improve it and they can actually apply it. You're actually helping just regular people also being able to design things themselves. And of course, this also has to be a viable business model. We definitely see that you can make money on sharing designs, but actually being the one producing and making sure it has the quality you need, because that's something that is, you definitely need someone who has different experience and different crafts understanding to do. But the whole idea of sort of setting your skills free and actually helping others understand what good design is, empowering others to design, also empowering consumers to understand how to design. I think is a really important chapter in the circular economy, also allowing for consumers to understand the products and maybe keep on to them for a little bit longer because they've been part of understanding that whole production phase. So if you want to get started with distributed design understand, I just want to highlight this wonderful platform and this great collaboration between tons of partners all over the world, where we've shared tools, resources, great cases, an example of distributed design. Hjort from Stykker, who's joining us in a bit, is part of this video that there's a screenshot here, and just you can access resources and tools and ways to work and understand this new field. Okay, I was told to be quick, and I was, so this was my last slide. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Julie. You were perfect your presentation and perfect your time. Thanks so much. I have just a couple of comments from my side, if I can. I find very interesting your speech, your topic, and also very interesting, in my opinion, the social impact of this approach. Maybe we have to change mind and also think how our action have impact on society. So thank you very much. And also another point is about the challenge of mindset change in designers. It is something I'm facing with, and it's not easy at all. So thank you very much. And thanks for being with us. Ciao.